This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of INCRadio New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life. And we've had a lot of flavor recently. We were in Texas, we were in other places. And today's flavor actually is about small acts of kindness. So sometimes, kindness comes with food, but most of the time it doesn't. But it does make a huge impact in our lives. So today I'm joined by Maricel. Hello, Maricel. Don't blow.
Hi, Leia.
Don't blow away where you are, although it looks beautiful where you are. And also back with us is Diane. Hi, Diane. Welcome
Hi.
back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, you're always welcome. We love to spend time with you, Diane, and hear about your experience here because you're a world traveler. So I feel like you know more about this than we do. So every small act of kindness has the power to create positive change, and because we know the world doesn't change through grand gestures, usually. It changes through faithful hearts, one act of love at a time. So we're going to start off with something. Actually, we're going to go to Marisol for this one. She's our science person on board today. she's gonna tell us what are the physical or biological effects of receiving on the receiving end of an act of kindness when someone's nice to us.
All right. So hello to everyone who's tuning in. So I don't want to be too sciencey today, but it has been proven. There have been studies that have shown that a simple act of kindness, whether you're the giver or the receiver of that act of kindness, has scientific effects. Like it can be beneficial for your health, for physically, emotionally, and mentally as well. Because when somebody gives kindness, our brain, like there's part of our brain that releases these feel-good hormones, like the serotonin, endorphins, dopamines, those happy hormones that our brain releases that helps improve our well-being. So giving an act of kindness is actually the cheapest way of trying to stay healthy, and it's one act where it's duplicatable. Is that a word?
Yes.
It's duplicatable, right? Like if you do an act of kindness, the receiver of it will feel happy and will actually want to pay it forward to other people. So act of kindness we can change the world just by starting with you. Like if you do one act of kindness and everybody pays it forward, it will be a better place, right? If everybody just do one simple act of kindness.
So, in summary, if you want to feel good for free, be kind to someone else.
Exactly.
Although you can get those happy hormones by eating food.
You're
This one's
spending money.
and you're also spending calories. So this one's free and you won't gain weight. So that's a funny way to say it. But yes, thank you for that. So all right. So now that we know that there are physical benefits to showing kindness and receiving kindness, was gonna say sometimes when I don't know if you're one of those people who receives kindness, but you're so surprised, you get upset. Why are you being so nice to me? It's like, no, no, just say thank you. Just say thank you and enjoy the happy feeling that you get, the surprise happy feeling that you get from receiving an act of kindness. All right, so we're going to start off our discussion with, has there ever been a time where a stranger showed you kindness and how did it affect your life? We're going to start off with we're going to go from Marisol first for this one.
Okay. Just very recently, I think once a stranger, I'm always, because I drive a lot, just to our listeners, just to put a perspective on what I do. I go house to house. I'm a physical therapist who does home care, so I'm always on the road. So needless to say, like I always need to like pump air in my tire. So one time I was at this gas station pumping air, and I probably was struggling, and a stranger approached me because I was like, I had to air all four tires, not just one. So he probably saw that I was struggling, so he approached me and asked if I need any help, and I was like, that's really nice of him to offer help. And how it affected me is I want to do the same thing, especially when I see maybe an elderly person, pumping air, squatting, and it had difficulty squatting. So that's how it affected me, that I want to pay it forward if I see somebody struggling to do the same.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Car things. It's always nice to have help with car things. Whether you're changing the tire, yeah. Especially if it's in the middle of your workday and you're late, Marisol. Like, I don't know if you're
Yes.
you're on your way to an appointment, like, oh, I gotta do all four tires, not just two. No, that's a good one. What about you, Diane? Do you have a story of a stranger showing you kindness?
Yeah, so just like Maricel, I also drive a lot. One of the things I do sometimes is I deliver food. So one time I was just like hours delivering food, and I realized I hadn't ate dinner yet, and I was getting hungry. I was like, oh man, still have to cook a meal, or I still have to go out and buy some food. And one of the restaurants that I stopped by at, the manager there, he was just like, do you want some free food? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so he got me a drink, burger and fries, and some wings. And I was just so thankful. Like, I didn't realize that that would have happened to me. And I felt filled. Like, not only was my stomach filled, but I felt happy and glad that someone like didn't even know that I was starving at that hour and was just offering a free meal to me. And honestly, that touched me.
Yeah. That surprise, happy, and then the relief, right? The relief that you don't, yeah, I mean, being hungry when you can't eat is a terrible feeling. I don't know how else to say it, but no, that's great. And it also makes me feel happy to know that there are those people out there who show kindness without asking for anything in return. I think social media makes people a little, I don't know, I don't let's talk about it for a second. Social media, I feel like, kind of makes us a little more hesitant to be kind to other people. I don't know why, but it's nice to know from these real life stories that we have, um, that there are genuinely kind people not doing it for the gram or so that they can film it or so that they can post it. This is what I did today. I helped, this woman fill four tires. I don't know, like, I'm a good person, but the fact that they just do it instead of saying it, that's great. Okay, let's move it up to another level. And also those in our live chat, feel free to share your stories as well if you want to shout out anybody in your life that showed you an act of kindness that really changed your life, or changed your day, let us know so we can share that later in our shout out section. All right. So, what about receiving an act of kindness from a family member, teacher, coworker, or friend who did a small thing, but it had a big impact on your life? Let's start off with Diane on this one.
Yeah, so I was going through a lot in my life, and I was at a low point mentally and emotionally. And my friend, she offered to pray for me. And I was touched because most of the times I pray for other people. But the fact that someone offered to pray for me and prayed for all the things that I needed at that moment, it really like strengthened me, and it like made me feel like a lot better, and I felt like I was able to continue um going on, because at that moment I felt like I was gonna give up and I couldn't go on anymore. But because um that person just decided, I think she really needs someone to pray for her, so that really touched my heart, and it also inspired me to continue to pray for others as well.
Yeah, so that's also a very simple act of kindness that we can do for one another as Christians. Um, I don't want to preempt Marisol because I know Marisol also has something similar to share. So go ahead. It's like I'll come back. I'll hold my thoughts until Marisol goes. Go ahead, Marisol. What's your story?
Okay, so my story is similar to Diane's. No, a few years ago, it was like the lowest point of our family life. We were struggling like financially, and there was this one friend in the church who knew about what's going on, and we were having like car problems, and she knew about it, and without me asking her, she just offered and said, hey, you know what, I have an extra car that you can you can borrow it until you're ready to get a new one, or until your cars are fixed. And I was like, you are God sent to our family. I'm gonna cry.
Happy tears. Happy tears.
Yeah, and I will never forget her. If she's watching this, you know who you are. But that really touched my heart, and like she's very generous, and she did a couple of other things that's really meaningful and really unforgettable up to this point. So simple acts like that will really makes a big difference in somebody's life.
Yeah, so you said it, Marisol. It's a godsend, right? So I always feel like as Christians we believe that God is always acting for us, and He brings people to our lives that will help us in whatever way we need. So yeah, no, these are all happy tears. I know I'm looking at the screen and everyone has a misty time to maybe touch up a little makeup, but we don't have time for that. So no, these are great. I mean, and for the ones who perform these acts, we do it because like what Diane said, when you think someone needs, you offer, do you want to pray together, do you want to do something like that, it's because you want to help them. So I love that there are people who have that love in their hearts, just that want to help without anything in exchange. It's not like, oh, now you owe me. No, no, no. These are things that happen to our lives where even with strangers, they just wanted to help because they wanted to. So, all right. So, all right, we're gonna be moving on to our next question. I think it's our last one. Have you ever had a leader that led with love? So, who were they and how were they effective? We're gonna start off with Maricel on this one.
Um, when you talk about leader, I think the very first person that come to my mind is my parents. They we as parents, we are always leaders of our family, and for my parents always led with love. Coming from a poor family, I've seen how, I think it's every parent really. I can speak for all parents. They lead with love, no matter the struggle and the hardship that they experience, their first priority is always the family and the children. So that's my number one example for somebody who's leading with love. And also I would also say my boss, my director in my job, he also leads with love, and like he does simple things, simple acts. It doesn't have to be grand, like, we're talking about small things. Kindness is not about all the grandeur that you show to others. It's just the simple things that you can do for others, which can make a big difference. Like, he would just at random, he will email all the employees, like, stop by at our office, we have free breakfast, free lunch for you. Or he would invite people to, like, meet up with him in a restaurant just to share lunch together. And if you don't have the time to stop by at the office or go to a restaurant, he would even tell you to, you can go to any place you want, just get a receipt and I will reimburse that for you. So simple, simple acts like that. And also I would like to share this opportunity to express my gratitude to our executive minister, to our leader, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. He's one of the best examples of a leader who is leading with love. He does a lot of things for our church to make all the brethren, so we always go towards the right path. And I am so fortunate that we met him as a family a few years ago. I was pregnant then, and Gabriel was 1 year old, and we met him in, I think it's a church in New York who had the dedication. And it it's a different feeling as soon as I got closer to him. I can't explain the feeling. For those of us who met Brother Eduardo Manalo, I know you know how that feeling that I'm saying, I cannot describe, but that's it. I think I've said so much.
Yes, you have. But we could go on and on about this. But yes, before we move on, we do want to wish our executive minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, a very happy birthday. It was yesterday, but we're still celebrating today on today's program. All right, Diane, we're going to go to you now for your examples of leaders whom you've worked with, met with, who lead with love, and how are they effective, or how do they change your life? Go ahead.
So I'm constantly surrounded by leaders who lead with love. I actually grew up seeing that. My father is a minister, and I remember when there would be flooding in the Philippines, the brethren would have their uniforms and they in plastic bags, and they would swim to make it to the chapel, to the worship service, and my dad would be there to swim with them and help them to make it to the chapel. And there's also brethren who live in the mountains, and in the break of dawn at like 3 a.m. He would be with them to climb the mountains there and make it to the worship service. So they would climb a really high mountain just so that they could attend the worship service. So that's examples that I saw in my childhood that I really thought that a leader like that leads with love, because even if it takes a toll on them physically, they're still able to help and nothing in return. And the leader that inspires me the most is our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. He travels around the world. He endures extreme cold, extreme heat, different time zones, and he doesn't mind that, because he's always constantly visiting the brethren around the world. And he may be tired or he might get sick, but he always remembers to visit all of the brethren, and sometimes he doesn't even get any sleep as well. And because he's always taking care of us, and that's always what's on his mind. So he's one of the people that I know strongly leads with love.
That's very true, Diane. leaders who make a lot of sacrifices. Um, they can only do those things out of love, I feel. I also think of my parents as the first people who I know that led with love. So they're always my first example. But yes, definitely our ministers, especially Brother Eduardo Manalo, um, is an inspiration uh, to continue showing that kind of care and kindness to our fellow brethren and to our fellow Christians. Even during for our we have other programs as well where we have our outreach programs. We have something called Care for Humanity that we do with the FYM Foundation, where we give out care packages. I mean, these are the things that our spiritual leaders think of how we can also help our fellow man, along with the INT Giving Project and even neighborhood appreciation. We have so many programs that help that help our communities as well, and that's also because our spiritual leaders, especially our executive minister, reminds us that we should also help one another, whether or not we're in the same church. You know, uh, yeah, let's make kindness contagious. Okay, we're at looking at the time. It's time for our shout outs.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning. Happy birthday. Congratulations. I have to shout out.
All right. I don't know if we're having technical issues. We saw the video, but we didn't hear the audio. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna shout. We're gonna start first with Diane. You have any shout outs?
Yes, I'd like to shout out my parents, brother Alvin, and sister Sheila Apalacio. I'd like to shout out my friend Kina from Athens, Greece, my friend Anne from Guam, my friend Gracial from Australia, my friend Michaela from Atlantic City, my friend Nixie from Philadelphia. Shout out to the locale of Philadelphia. And yeah.
Okay, Auntie Marisol.
All right, shout out to Sister Sheila Palacio. I know you're watching right now. Thank you so much for watching. And also shout out to Sister Jill King. Hello, Sister Jill, and to my family who are waiting for me to be done with the show. Shout out to my boys and to the local congregation of Winslow who are watching, and to everyone who is tuning in. Have a happy weekend.
All right. So we want to say hello to those in our live chat today. We have Brother Jeff Dote, Brother James Timothy Malabanan. We have Sister Mayan Manzano Guerzon, Sister Claudette Dote. And from Texas, we have Nathaniel Russell tuning in. And we have Elsu Viljan from the Philippines. Of course, Brother Mario Oka never misses an episode of INCRadio New Jersey from Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North. And we have a bunch of happy birthday. From last week, we are going to announce we have a lot of happy birthday greetings to Raymond Villegas. That was last week. Sorry, we didn't get it. We ran out of time to announce that. So belated happy birthday to you, Brother Raymond. And from last week, Grace Evangelista wished Joy Bandalan, Benji Hinahon, Roger Tud, and Renee Bergado happy birthday. So that's from last week. And for today's happy birthdays, we have Raquel Abrin of Philadelphia from Michelle Rizal. And on the topic, we love leaders who lead with love. Happy birthday, Paul Ka Eduardo, Sister Mayan, Manzana Guerzon. And we have a number of things on the topic. Kindness is contagious from Sister Mayan. Being kind makes you feel good. It's good for you from Ave Evangelista. And it's really inspiring to consider the efforts of our spiritual leaders. Thanks for all you do. Yes, thank you. Even to our local leader, our local congregation leadership. And Sister Mayan also says, thank you, Polka Eduardo, and all the church officers for leading with love and compassion. And from Sister Norsely Emanse, embrace the joy of giving, for in those acts of kindness, blessings abound. The more we give, the richer our lives become, filled with gratitude and love. Okay. All right. So we are moving on to our audience spotlight. Marisol, can you do the honors?
All right, for our audience spotlight, we have 2 weeks worth for October 18 winners. Honorable mention to Bergen, third place, Elizabeth, second place, Aston, and first place, Winslow. And for October 25 winners, honorable mention goes to Bayonne. Third place, Philadelphia. Second place, Aston. And first place again, I'm so proud of Winslow. Winslow! I can't see the live chat today, the Today Show. So I hope they're hashtagging, and we'll see who will be the winners next week.
Okay. I think your locale really needs you also to be hashtagging. But 2 weeks in a row, Winslow. Congratulations. Back on top. We'll see who it is next week. All right. We have for one activity to announce for our upcoming activity. It is a reminder for tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. in the local congregations of Aston and Elizabeth. Everyone is welcome to attend our evangelical mission. So don't forget that's tomorrow at 7:30. Come with your friends, your loved ones. And also don't forget to check with your local congregation for details on your local congregation events and the daily Bible study schedule. So that's actually it for today's show. I know the show goes so fast. I hope everyone feels good, even those in our live chat, remembering all the acts of kindness they received. And and hopefully, we all continue to share our kindness and make kindness contagious. So if you found value in our discussion today, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you think this would be helpful to someone please share the link with them. And if there's a topic you'd like to hear about or want to join us, you want to be on the show. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. Please reach out to anyone of us here or anyone in the district to join our show. All right. And before we go, we'd like to thank our church administration, of course, for their continued support to INCRadio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected and learn together. We want to acknowledge our district supervising minister, Brother Alan P. Fernandez, our assistant district supervising minister, Brother Ruben Bustos Jr., our Christian Family Organization overseer, Brother Royal Moline, and our district multimedia advisor, Brother Timothy James Malabanan.
And of course, special thank you to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Again, happy birthday po to you. And to our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo, I'm getting tongue-tied to Leah. Brother Angelo Manalo, and to our INCRadio Station Manager, Brother Wally Taray. And of course, to everyone who is listening and tuning in, thank you so much for taking the time to watch our show. We hope that you continue to watch us every Saturday. So until next time, bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care. Oh, there we are. Okay. Bye again.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.